Saving $100,000 every month on a $3,000 income might sound impossible at first glance. When people see the numbers, they think, I barely have enough to cover rent, groceries, and bills. How can I save that much? But here's the truth. It's less about how much you earn and more about how intentional you are with your money. The first step is budgeting and tracking every dollar. You cannot save what you do not know you're spending. Many Americans go month to month living paycheck to paycheck with little awareness of where their money actually goes. By creating a detailed budget, investment, listing every source of income and every single expense, you gain clarity. Tools like spreadsheets, apps, or even pen and paper can help. Start by writing down fixed expenses like rent, utilities, and insurance. Investment, track variable expenses like food, transportation, entertainment, and miscellaneous spending. Once everything is listed, you'll be shocked at how much money disappears into unnoticed daily habits. Even small amounts, like a 5 olive coffee every morning, can add up to over $100 a month. Awareness is the first key because saving isn't about luck. It's about deliberate choices. When you see the numbers laid out, it becomes easier to make adjustments that don't feel painful but are impactful. The second step is cutting unnecessary expenses. Once your budget is transparent, it's time to identify what's truly essential and what's not. Many people spend money on things that bring temporary satisfaction but don't contribute to long-term financial goals. Dining out multiple times a week, subscription services you rarely use, and impulse purchases are common culprits. Eliminating or reducing these discretionary expenses can create a huge gap for savings. It's not about depriving yourself. It's about prioritizing. For example, cooking at home instead of eating out can save hundreds every month while still enjoying good food. Cancel unused subscriptions and replace them with low-cost alternatives or free entertainment options. Lifestyle inflation is another trap. When your income increases, your spending often increases proportionally. Investment. Fighting that instinct by keeping lifestyle simple allows you to funnel more money into savings. Cutting back doesn't have to feel like punishment. Instead, it's an exercise in aligning spending with your financial goals. The third element is maximizing income opportunities. Saving $100,000 on a $3,000 income isn't just about cutting costs. It's also about finding ways to bring in more money. Even modest side hustles can make a huge difference. Freelancing, online tutoring, delivering for apps, or even selling unused items around your home can provide an extra income stream that contributes directly to your savings. Increasing your skill set to qualify for overtime, promotions, investment, or higher paying roles can accelerate this process. The reality is, when you rely solely on cutting expenses, you reach a limit. To hit aggressive savings targets like $100,000 a month, you may need to combine disciplined spending with increased income. The key is to make additional income predictable and consistent rather than sporadic. Investment. Every dollar earned from these extra efforts should go straight to your savings account to maintain focus and momentum. Finally, automating savings and building discipline is crucial. And human behavior is such that when money is left in your checking account, it tends to disappear. By setting up automatic transfers to a dedicated savings account right when your paycheck arrives, you remove the temptation to spend what you intend to save. Automation is a form of financial discipline, out of sight, out of mind, but fully accounted for in your long-term goals. Alongside automation, it's important to maintain accountability. Track your progress each month, celebrate milestones, and adjust when necessary. Saving $40,000 in a month isn't just about numbers, it's about creating habits that stick. Over time, these habits compound, not just in savings, but in mindset. You begin to see money as a tool, not a resource to be consumed immediately. This disciplined approach allows anyone, regardless of income, to consistently save and build financial security. In conclusion, saving $1,000 every month on a $3,000 income isn't a fantasy. It's entirely achievable through awareness, intentional spending, income maximization, investment, and automated discipline. It's not easy, it requires commitment, but when approached strategically, investment, you'll not only reach your savings goals, but also develop lifelong habits that make financial independence inevitable. Saving $1,000 in a month on a $3,000 income starts with a principle that many people overlook: understanding exactly where your money goes. Budgeting and tracking every dollar is not just a mundane task. It's the foundation of financial control and the first step toward real savings. The reality is, investment without a clear picture of your income versus your spending, saving becomes nearly impossible. Most individuals live paycheck to paycheck, often unaware of how small, unnoticed expenses accumulate over time. When you begin tracking every dollar, you gain insight into your financial habits and identify opportunities for change. Start by listing all sources of income. This includes your primary salary, any side hustles, freelance work, or passive income streams. Knowing exactly how much money is coming in is essential because you cannot plan effectively without clarity on your total resources. Once you have a clear number, you can allocate it intelligently toward essential expenses, discretionary spending, and savings goals. The next step is to categorize your expenses. Begin with fixed costs, rent or mortgage, utilities, and insurance premiums, and transportation. These are predictable, recurring expenses that must be covered every month. Then move on to variable costs such as groceries, dining, gas, entertainment, and miscellaneous purchases. This categorization allows you to see which areas have flexibility and where you can realistically make cuts. One of the most eye-opening parts of tracking spending is realizing how seeming singly small habitual expenses add up. A 5 coffee each morning may feel insignificant, but over a month, it amounts to roughly 100. Dining out 2 or 3 times a week can easily consume hundreds of dollars. Even subscriptions or services that are rarely used, streaming platforms, software, investment, or gym memberships, represent money leaving your account without providing proportional value. Writing these down gives you the perspective needed to make conscious decisions. When you track expenses meticulously, you also discover spending patterns that might be invisible otherwise. Perhaps you're paying for 2 separate streaming services but only consistently use one. Or maybe impulse purchases are creeping in through online shopping, each small order barely noticeable until you tally them over time. Awareness is the key. When you know exactly how much money is moving in and out, you gain control instead of feeling helpless each month. Tracking every dollar also introduces accountability. It forces you to confront financial realities instead of ignoring them. Many people operate on autopilot, assuming they can figure out savings later. But the later often never comes because unmonitored spending creeps in silently. By creating a detailed budget and logging every expense, you take the power back. This process doesn't have to be complicated or overwhelming. Simple tools like a spreadsheet, a budgeting app, or even a notebook can suffice. The method is less important than consistency. The goal is to develop the habit of reviewing income and expenditures regularly, ideally weekly, so adjustments can be made in real time. Another critical aspect of this step is prioritization. Once all income and expenses are mapped, it becomes clear which expenditures are essential and which are optional. Essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, and transportation must be covered. Investment. But discretionary spending is often where savings potential lies. This clarity enables conscious decision, making choosing between wants and needs, understanding trade-offs, and aligning spending with your goal of saving $1,000 each month. Moreover, tracking your dollars builds psychological awareness that changes behavior. When people see exactly how much they spend on non-essential items, then they start naturally reducing them without feeling deprived. It's not about strict austerity, it's about informed choices. Every dollar becomes purposeful, and the savings mindset starts to take root. Over time, this approach not only facilitates immediate savings, but also cultivates a long-term perspective on financial management. You learn to plan ahead, anticipate upcoming expenses, and allocate resources with intention. In essence, budgeting and tracking every dollar transforms your financial life from reactive to proactive. It shifts control from external pressures like unexpected bills or impulsive purchases to you, the individual. Investment. This is the cornerstone of being able to save $1,000 a month on a $3,000 income. Without understanding your financial flows, every other strategy, no matter how sophisticated, will have limited impact. By dedicating time to track income and expenses, categorize spending, and identify patterns, you lay a foundation of clarity, accountability, and control. This clarity is what makes ambitious savings goals not just possible, but sustainable, empowering you to build wealth, reduce financial stress, and make informed decisions that align with your long-term financial objectives. ChatGPT said once you've established a clear picture of your income and expenses, the next critical step towards saving $1,000 a month on a $3,000 income is cutting unnecessary expenses. Many people underestimate the impact of discretionary spending, often overlooking small investment. habitual purchases that accumulate into significant sums over time. The key is not about living an austere or joyless life. It's about prioritizing spending on what truly matters and eliminating what doesn't. Investment. The first place to look is lifestyle spending. Dining out, coffee runs, takeout, and convenience foods can silently erode your ability to save. For instance, consider eating out just 3 times a week at an average of 15 per meal. That's $180 a month spent on meals that could easily be prepared at home for a fraction of the cost. Best by cooking at home and planning meals ahead, not only do you save money, but you also gain healthier options and greater control over your nutrition. Even small daily indulgences, like that 5 morning coffee, can add up to over $100 a month, money that can be redirected straight into your savings account. Subscriptions are another silent drain. Streaming platforms, investment, premium apps, gym memberships, or software subscriptions are often set on autopay, quietly withdrawing funds month after month, regardless of usage. Many people subscribe to services they rarely use. Conducting a subscription audit allows you to eliminate what's unnecessary. Perhaps you can consolidate streaming services or switch to free alternatives. Maybe your gym membership goes unused. In that case, consider at-home workouts or more affordable options. The goal is to eliminate financial leaks that offer minimal value. Impulse purchases are another area where unnecessary expenses hide. Online shopping, promotional sales, or trendy gadgets often create a false sense of urgency, leading to purchases that were not planned or budgeted. When unmonitored, these small, seemingly insignificant expenditures add up to hundreds or even thousands over a year. The antidote is mindful spending, questioning every purchase, waiting 24 hours before buying non-essential items, and asking if it aligns with your financial priorities. Transportation costs can also be a hidden source of unnecessary spending. Driving to work, taking cabs, or relying on ride-hailing apps frequently may seem convenient but expensive. Carpooling. Using public transportation, biking, or walking when feasible can significantly reduce monthly costs. Even evaluating your car insurance or gas usage can uncover opportunities for savings. Housing and utilities, while largely fixed, can offer room for optimization as well. If you rent, consider negotiating your lease upon renewal or exploring more affordable options. Reducing electricity, water, and heating costs through mindful consumption, like turning off lights, unplugging devices, or adjusting thermostats, might seem small but can make a notable difference over time. Investment. Another crucial concept is avoiding lifestyle inflation. As income increases, many naturally expand spending on non-essential luxuries. A modest raise may be quickly absorbed by upgraded gadgets, more frequent dining out, or luxury items, leaving savings stagnant. By resisting lifestyle inflation, you ensure that any income increase directly benefits your savings goals. It's about discipline and conscious prioritization. Investment, focusing on what truly adds value to your life and redirecting the rest to building financial security. Eliminating unnecessary expenses also provides mental clarity and reduces financial stress. When you consciously cut back, you begin to see the difference between fleeting satisfaction and long-term benefits. It transforms your relationship with money, making saving a purposeful activity rather than a forced restriction. The process starts with awareness, tracking spending, and identifying areas where money is being spent without meaningful return. Then, it moves to action, cutting, reducing, or replacing unnecessary expenditures with smarter alternatives. For example, replacing daily takeout with meal prepping, switching premium subscriptions to free options, or choosing a more economical commute can free up hundreds of dollars every month. These savings, when consistently applied, contribute directly toward the 1,000 target without requiring a major sacrifice to your lifestyle. Over time, this habit of eliminating non-essential spending builds a framework for long-term financial discipline. You not only save money in the short term, but also cultivate a mindset that prioritizes value over impulse. By being intentional about every dollar spent and cutting out unnecessary expenses, you gain control over your finances, allowing your savings to grow consistently. Ultimately, reducing discretionary spending is not a punishment, it's empowerment. And it's the strategic redirection of money from temporary pleasures into long-term security, giving you the ability to save $1,000 in a month on a $3,000 income and setting the stage for financial independence. ChatGPT said, once you've gained control over your spending and cut unnecessary expenses, the next critical step towards saving $1,000 in a month on a $3,000 income is maximizing income opportunities. And while reducing expenses can create a significant buffer, there is a natural limit to how much you can cut without compromising essential needs or quality of life. To reach an ambitious savings goal, Supplementing your income becomes a practical and often necessary strategy. Increasing your income doesn't have to mean switching careers or taking on extreme measures. It's about strategically leveraging skills, time, and available opportunities to create additional revenue streams. One of the most accessible ways to boost income is through side hustles or freelance work. In today's digital age, platforms for freelance work, ranging from writing, graphic design, and coding to virtual assistants, tutoring, and consulting, provide countless options to earn extra money on a flexible schedule. Investment, even committing a few hours per week, can result in hundreds of dollars in supplemental income. What makes this approach particularly effective is that any additional earnings can be allocated directly to your savings, ensuring that lifestyle doesn't creep upward with income and that your 30,000 monthly goal stays achievable. Another opportunity lies in monetizing your existing skills or hobbies. Many people underestimate the value of what they already know or enjoy doing. For instance, if you have expertise in photography, you could offer sessions for events or sell stock images online. Investment. If you're skilled in writing or editing, freelance content creation for blogs, websites, or businesses can provide consistent income. Even hobbies like crafting, baking, or woodworking can be turned into small business ventures that supplement your monthly earnings. Beyond side hustles, consider ways to increase income within your current employment. Pursuing promotions, taking on additional responsibilities, or working overtime can create a significant boost to your monthly earnings without drastically altering your routine. Many employers reward initiative and dedication with higher pay or performance-based bonuses. By identifying growth opportunities in your existing role, you can increase your income in a sustainable way, reinforcing your ability to save aggressively. Passive income streams are another avenue to explore, especially for long-term financial growth. While building passive income often requires initial effort or investment, it can create recurring revenue that contributes to your savings goals. Examples include dividend, paying stocks, interest from savings or bonds, creating digital products, or even renting out unused space in your home. Although some passive income strategies take time to materialize, incorporating them alongside active efforts can accelerate savings and build financial resilience. It's important to approach income maximization strategically. Focus on opportunities that match your skill set, time availability, and long-term objectives. Not all side hustles are worth the effort, but the goal is to create meaningful income without burning out or compromising essential life balance. The combination of reduced expenses and increased income creates a multiplier effect. Investment. Each dollar earned from additional income streams is a dollar that can go straight to savings, compounding the impact of your disciplined spending. For example, even a modest side hustle generating $300 per month, when added to $500 saved from cutting discretionary spending, puts you halfway toward the 100,000 target with minimal disruption to your lifestyle. Mindset also plays a critical role. Viewing income not just as a paycheck to cover immediate expenses, but as a tool to achieve financial goals transforms your approach to work and opportunities. It encourages creativity, persistence, and a willingness to explore avenues you might have otherwise overlooked. By embracing this perspective, you make financial growth intentional rather than incidental. Maximizing income opportunities is not a temporary measure. It's a habit that can continue to benefit you far beyond the initial 30,000 savings goal. The additional skills, experience, and financial flexibility you build along the way create resilience against unexpected expenses, economic shifts, and future financial ambitions. That's a good investment. This approach reinforces the principle that saving isn't only about restraint, it's about strategically enhancing your resources while maintaining control over your spending. Investment. By combining disciplined expense management with proactive income generation, achieving $1,000 in monthly savings on a $3,000 in income becomes not only realistic but sustainable. This method allows you to meet your financial goals without feeling deprived. Instead, empowering you to create opportunities, build skills, and cultivate a mindset of financial growth and independence. In essence, income maximization turns a static financial situation into a dynamic one, providing the leverage needed to reach ambitious savings targets while laying the groundwork for long-term wealth building. ChatGPT said, "And once you have a clear budget, cut unnecessary expenses, and even found ways to increase your income, the final critical step in saving $30,000 a month on a $30,000 in income is automating savings and building discipline." Investment. Many people fail to reach their savings goals not because they lack money, but because they lack a system that enforces consistency. Human behavior is wired to spend what is readily available. So if savings are left to willpower alone, they often fall by the wayside. Automation removes this reliance on discipline alone and creates a framework for consistent, stress-free saving. The first step is to set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a dedicated savings account the moment your paycheck is deposited. This approach, often called paying yourself first, ensures that savings happen before you even have a chance to spend the money elsewhere. Treating savings as a non-negotiable expense, just like rent or utilities, frames your mindset from reactive spending to proactive wealth building. When automation is in place, you no longer have to make a daily or weekly decision about whether to save. The system does it for you. This not only guarantees consistency, but also reduces the temptation to dip into funds meant for savings. The psychological effect is powerful. Instead of feeling deprived because you are intentionally setting money aside, it becomes a natural part of your financial routine. Over time, this builds confidence and reinforces the habit of disciplined money management. Beyond automated transfers, discipline also involves creating boundaries and rules around spending. For example, allocate only a specific amount for discretionary spending each month and track it meticulously. If you've allotted $400 for dining out, entertainment, or personal purchases, once that limit is reached, you pause additional spending until the next cycle. Combining automation with conscious limits for discretionary spending creates a dual system, one that ensures savings happen automatically, and another that prevents overspending. Another key component of discipline is regular monitoring and review. Even though savings are automated, it's essential to check progress each month, review bank statements, track spending trends, and evaluate whether the savings rate is adequate or needs adjustment. This review is not about micromanaging, but about maintaining awareness and accountability. By seeing tangible progress, whether it's a growing balance in a high-yield savings account or a dedicated investment account, you reinforce the benefits of discipline and the impact of consistent actions over time. Automation can also extend beyond basic savings. Consider automating contributions to investment accounts, retirement funds, or emergency savings. This approach not only grows your wealth, but also instills a long-term mindset, teaching the habit of prioritizing financial security alongside daily expenses. The compounding effect of disciplined investment. Automated savings cannot be overstated. Even if you start modestly, consistent monthly contributions grow significantly over time, creating a sense of momentum and achievement. This momentum reinforces behavior, investment, making disciplined saving second nature rather than a forced activity. Additionally, discipline in finances extends to emotional self-control. Financial setbacks, unexpected expenses, or market fluctuations can tempt individuals to abandon savings goals. Automation helps buffer against these emotional reactions because the habit is system-driven. When you experience life's ups and downs, the automated transfers continue, preserving the integrity of your financial plan. Importantly, building discipline through automation does not require extreme sacrifice. You are not forced to eliminate all discretionary spending or live a minimalist lifestyle. Instead, automation and discipline ensure that your priorities, saving, financial security, and long-term goals are addressed first, while the remaining funds can be spent according to your choices and lifestyle. In practice, combining automation with discipline creates a robust financial ecosystem. Your money is directed strategically, essential expenses are covered, savings happen automatically, discretionary spending is monitored, and income increases are leveraged toward financial goals. This system reduces reliance on moment-to-moment decisions, which are prone to impulse and error, and instead channels your resources efficiently. Ultimately, automating savings and building discipline transforms saving $100 in a month on a $3,000 in income from a lofty aspiration into a repeatable, structured process. And it shifts your relationship with money from reactive and emotional to intentional and strategic. By setting up systems, creating boundaries, and consistently monitoring progress, you cultivate habits that not only achieve immediate savings goals, but also lay the groundwork for long-term financial independence. In essence, automation and discipline make saving automatic, effortless investment and sustainable, ensuring that your $100 in monthly savings goal is not just achievable, but reliably maintained month after month without unnecessary stress or compromise.